hardcore boxing fans out there, how are you doing? Big Porky here, the voice of hardcore boxing, and I hope you've subscribed as well, or I'll be coming to pay you a visit.
Eddie Hearn, when you're going to come on Porky's Corner and answer some real questions? When you're going to do it? Eh? We're not talking questions like what your usual people are asking, like Rob Tebbett or Coogan Cassidy. We're talking real boxing questions. So when you're going to come and do it, Eddie? You've got my email. I'm going to send you my new phone number today. Give me a ring, Eddie. Don't you be a bottle job.
Hello all you hardcore boxing fans out there, how you doing? It's Big Porky here, the voice of hardcore boxing. Well, you know what time it is, don't you? Yeah, that's correct. It's that time again. Weapon of the week.
Weapon of the week!
This week's weapon of the week is Sir Edward John Hearn. Well, he'd have to be, wouldn't you? He's got a book coming out called Eddie Hearn Relentless, 12 Rounds to Success. Now, what planet is this man on? Right? Hey, what planet is he on? It's unbelievable, isn't it? This man is just... It's unbelievable, isn't he? There's I don't know how this man gets away with it, but he does. But the same Eddie Hearn has got a book out who, in my opinion, is AKA Little Lord Fauntleroy. He's so relentless about life itself and everything he does that he was expelled from school, wasn't he? I mean, we know why he got expelled, don't we, for bullying people. The same Eddie Hearn, the relentless amateur boxer, 4-0 and 3 by way of KO. But there's no record of him having an amateur fight under his name, Edward John Hearn, or his dad said he were called Eddie Hills. Eddie Hills. There's no record of that either. That's the name his dad put forward, Eddie Hills. There's no record of Edward Hills or Edward John Hills. Total lies after lie after lie. In fact, no opponent out of these 4 fighters he fought has come forward. Neither of their teams have come forward, or their trainers. Neither has Eddie Hearn's trainer, Jim McDonnell, who I personally asked. And he said he didn't want to comment on it. Why would Jim McDonnell not want to comment on training Barry Hearn's son to 4-0? Jim McDonnell didn't want to comment for the simple reason that he probably wants to work with Eddie down the line and he didn't want to burn bridges like the rest of people in boxing. That's why I call them shithousers. Now, Jim McDonnell's a great trainer and great fighter, but these people want to play the game. They don't want to keep it real like the rest of us, do they? And why is that? I mean, John Wishausen, he's left Matchroom now, hasn't he? And he says that it never happened. So he was at Matchroom for a few decades, wasn't he? So he says it never happened and it's not true. So ABI says it's not true. So do Billericay Boxing Club. So where did these fights happen at? We don't know, do we? If these 4 fights, were they in Eddie Hearn's head and Barry Hearn's head? Were they in the Reds? Hey, who knows? Maybe Barry Hearn's got a video of these 4 fights, 3 by knockout, 3 by way of. Maybe Barry's got it on VHS at home somewhere, he just can't find it. I mean, you'd have thought he would, wouldn't you? His only son and heir, having 4 fights and winning them all. He hasn't even got it on, I mean, hasn't even got footage on it. A man like Barry Hearn, who's surrounded by cameras, eh? Surrounded by cameras all his life. Not one person's got any footage of these 4 fights. It is unbelievable. Nobody's got any footage about Eddie Hearn, the famous golf agent. He didn't last long at that, did he? Mr Relentless, Mr Unstoppable, Mr Weapon of the Week. How you doing, Eddie? Hope you're well. I mean, this is how I look at it, right? We're talking about a man who's so relentless that he can't even stay away from a camera, can he? It's shocking, isn't it? What does he mean by relentless, though? Does he mean lie, cheat, steal, blag, double cross, manipulate? What does he mean? Last week I put a video out and I said that they were going to sell Fury Joshua by race. They're going to use the race card like they did for, like Don King did for Laurie Holmes, Jerry Cooney. People said, Porky, you're a hater! Porky, you're a hater! Well, watch this.
The coronavirus is impacting sports teams and leagues around the world.
It will have huge implications on many big fights.
Without fans until April 3rd.
Devastating impact.
Catastrophic epidemic.
2 crises have converged. Protests over the death of George Floyd and the pandemic.
The Matchroom PR video that's just come out. Why has it got George Floyd's fans or rioters or wherever they are pushing statues into an harbour? What's that got to do with boxing coming back, Eddie? Boxing's coming back and it's been missing because of the virus. It's coming back because the government have relaxed the rules. That's why boxing's coming back. So why are you using rioters in your PR videos to sell boxing? It's shocking. This is all building up to Fury Joshua being sold on race, so get ready. Get ready. And then you'll be able to say, Porky, you got it right. Just like I got it right about 25 quid pay-per-view when everybody said, oh, I'm making Baba up. Well, I don't make Baba up. So once you've said something, you can't take it back. This is my opinion. They're going to use race, so get ready. They're just going to talk about it. They're not going to talk about the virus. They're going to talk about race. So you just seen the PR video, haven't you? Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I think. These people have got no scruples. Tyson Fury's already spoke about it, hasn't he? If I'd have said what Joshua said, I'd have been vilified. Yeah, you probably would have done, but why add fuel to it? Joshua's been packed off, hasn't he? He's been sent to Coventry by him. Shut your mouth, Joshua, and don't say anything. He's stayed out of the way. His people, they're trying to not add fuel to it. But these people can't help themselves, can they? Can't help themselves. The end game is money. That's why you've got Eddie Hearn coming out with. Canelo says Terry Harper's his favourite women's boxer. Canelo don't even know who Terry Harper is, but the whoppers that come out of these people's mouth to sell fights is unbelievable. It's shocking. I mean, can you imagine Eddie Hearn telling somebody about his situation? They'd be saying things like, you know, his rise to fame. My millionaire daddy, Buzzing Baz, aka Old Whiskey Nose, gave me matchroom boxing to run, so we got rid of old Fish Eyes, Maloney, Hennessy, Hobson, Hatton and all the rest and got an exclusive with Sky. We then manipulated the EIS where Robert McCracken trains Frotch, so I could have first pick of the Team GB fighters. Every time somebody wanted to turn pro, Robert McCracken would tell me if he were any good or if he were bad or if he were dedicated. That's what Eddie would be telling people if they asked him. Because that's the truth, innit, really? That's the truth. Joshua Yafai, Charlie Edwards, Callum Smith and Katie Taylor. All them except Katie Taylor are from lottery funded boxing, but Katie Taylor were an Olympian as well, wasn't she? She won a gold medal for Ireland. All them Olympians except Callum Smith, but he should have gone to Olympics, but he was still Team GB, wasn't he, from lottery funded. Eddie's not had a world champion from debut that went from Team GB, has he, at Olympics? No, he hasn't. Eddie's got the platform, hasn't he, with Sky. I keep telling people, this is not relentless. It's handed to you on a plate. Mr Relentless, Mr Weapon of the Week. Weapon of the week, let me tell you. Eddie Hearn is a weapon. Look, the keeps talking about being relentless, right? Somebody giving you the platform like Sky and EIS giving you fighters, it's done for you. You know, it's a conveyor belt. After they've got the matchroom deal off his dad, matchroom boxing, Sky give him the platform, McCracken gives him the fighters. What he needs then, he needs the YouTubers behind him. Enter Coogan Cassius. It's on a plate. Coogan lives near him. Easy access. I mean, let's have it right. Coogan's a very, very, very hard worker, but he just wants to be famous, doesn't he, really? We know that. Don't want to be an actor or something. He wants to be famous, so Eddie Hearn's giving him the platform. They've been good for each other, so you've got to give them both respect. But it's not rocket science. It's not relentless, is it? Getting up every morning, that's relentless. When you're getting paid millions of pounds, it's easy to get out of bed, isn't it? Eddie's never overcome any adversity, has he? What adversity has Eddie Hearn overcome? He hasn't overcome any adversity whatsoever yet, has he? You know, Coogan there with his YouTube channel, they've got people who want to piggyback on back of Coogan. You know, your boxing social, you're behind the gloves. People like that, they're piggyback. Because they know if they get to Coogan and they start spreading the matchroom love, and we know what other channels as well on YouTube, don't we, who spread it? The ones who hide behind the camera, we know who they are, don't we? Hatman and Sporting Icons. They hide behind the camera, but they spread the matchroom love, don't they? That's what these people do. They never go against anything matchroom. Michelle Joy Phelps, she's another one. So let's back up a little bit. His daddy's getting matchroom. Well, that's relentless, isn't it? After failing as a golf agent, daddy gives you matchroom. Sky give you a platform exclusive deal. McCracken's giving you fighters on a conveyor belt, right? Coogan's giving you YouTube. All you've got to do then is butter all old guard up, haven't you? You know, all Fleet Street hacks. The next step of Mr Relentless's master plan is to employ loads of people on ticket deals and all these bot accounts and stuff like that, to set up fake accounts, fake Twitter accounts on social media, and like and comment to everything that Eddie Hearn says, and dislike and leave a bad comment to everything all his rivals say. And if you're sat at a computer 10 hours a day running 10 accounts, you can do a lot of damage, can't you? That's 100 accounts. If you're at it all day, you can do damage. I mean, and then all he's got to do then is get these people to the right nice things with everything, every time he does something. For example, if Eddie Hearn farts, I've been in Eddie Hearn's company when he tells a joke. I was there at the Brooks Senchenko press conference and he told this joke. Dave Caldwell and Richard Poxon and Kell Brook's dad were rolling around all over the floor laughing. But Kell Brook's dad don't laugh at his jokes now though, does he? But at the time these people were rolling all over the floor laughing and I just stood there and I didn't laugh. I thought, what was that? But if Eddie Hearn farts, people like Coogan Cassius, Rob Tebbett and Hatman Strikes Back and who's the other one, Sporting Icons, these people say, Eddie, do you know what? That was an amazing fart. You should sell your own air fresheners for cars, Eddie. Forget Magic Trees. We should do an Eddie Hearn fart air freshener. Could you imagine that? Eddie Hearn would smell his own farts, wouldn't he? Eddie, that's the greatest smelling fart ever. And people would just agree with it, wouldn't they? They'd just laugh. Like Michelle Phelps and just agree. That's a great fart. That's the greatest ever pound for pound smelling fart, Eddie. Your shit smells fantastic. If you were a bar of chocolate, you'd eat yourself. And that's because all roads lead to Eddie, don't they? And nobody's gonna go against the narrative. Eddie Hearn rings a small old promoter up and says, I want to put one of your fighters on my show. How you fixed? There you go. Yes, please, Eddie. Yes, please, Eddie. And that's just what happens. Oh, Eddie, that's a fantastic smelling fart, that. It smells gorgeous. Well, I had a cheeky Nando's last night, didn't I? Yeah, I plotted up at Nando's. I were caked after an hour. Plotted up, apples and pears and cream for supper. Yeah, we're down there one last night. We were having it, weren't we? We were there. Good old Eddie Hearn, Mr Relentless. Weapon of the week. Now, another part of Mr Relentless's 12 rounds to succeed is to make friends with people like Gemma the Body Collins and Men's Health magazine male model James Argant, or Arg as this melt's known to his friends in Essex. I mean, these gimps from Gimpville Island and all their 30 of them, is the 30 or 32 actors from The Only Way is Essex. Oh my God, they've got about 65 million followers across all social media. So in Eddie Hearn's relentless master plan, he's thought, and it's a good idea, I'll comp these ringside tickets and the partners and get them to share it on their Twitters and social medias, and then they'll spread the gospel to all these casuals. We're going to a great event. If you want to meet us, come and see us. And that's just how it's gone basically. So back up a little bit. His daddy's giving Matchroom, Mr Relentless. McCracken's give him the EIS on a conveyor belt and shut every other promoter out. Eddie gets first offers on everybody. He'll be saying he's a good kid, Eddie, or he ain't a good kid, or he's good, or he ain't. That's how it works. Sky have given him the platform. Coogan Cassius has given him YouTube, and he's got followers who hang on to the back of him now. I mean, have you seen them hanging out at the back of him? Yes, please, Coogan. So, but Coogan's a very good interviewer, and he's an hard worker. And let me tell you, this game, this YouTube game, it's hard work at the beginning, trust me. Now, so, and then these Towie lot, they're selling tickets for him, they're doing the job for him, they're creating this master, they're creating this illusion. This master plan is an illusion. Eddie goes to the show, shakes everybody hand, says, oh, you're looking smart and that, see you at the next one, makes people feel a bit special. That's how it works, that's promoting. I told Dennis to get out there and do stuff like that, but he won't listen. But point I'm saying to you is this: it's not rocket science, is it? It's not rocket science. It isn't, is it? You know, these people, all they do, these Towie lot, they mingle about at shows and they don't even watch the boxing. I mean, I had that Matt the Casual on my channel, didn't he? Sometimes he said he didn't even see boxing, but While these people are mingling about, they're doing selfies with its fans, then they will go home and they'll watch the pay-per-view to see if they see themselves on TV. So it's a double whammy for Eddie, innit? He gets them to sell show and they go home and pay for pay-per-view. And they'll see as many people in the arena, because I've seen it. And all these people having selfies with them, they'll go home and they'll want to watch it, see if they can see themselves. Look, it's an illusion. It's an illusion. And that's basically it, really. Like I just said, it's a double whammy, and before long, you know, they'll end up caked in money, and that's the end. That's the bottom line, isn't it? It's all about money. It's all about money, and obviously in Eddie's case, it's about comb-overs as well. It's all about the cheeky comb-over. There's cheeky Nando's and there's cheeky comb-overs, isn't there, Eddie? You weapon of the week, Mr Relentless, Mr Unstoppable, Mr DAZN. Oh my God, we'll come to that in a little bit. Now, another good idea would be to get, now you've got the platform, you've got the company off your dad, you've got the YouTube, you've got the telecast pushing your show. Another good one would be to get, right, another good one would be to get all the pundits on side with you. Do you know what I mean? Get the pundits on side at Sky. Get people who spread the narrative from the biggest platform. This is before you start with IFL. Sky, they've got people's ears who are watching it. They're narrating a story. You know, you get people like Darren Barker, or he's married to one at Matchroom employees. You've got Darren Barker there spreading the gospel reading off the same hymn sheet. You've got Tony the disappearing man Bellew. Oh my God. Well, let's just not even go there. The man who wants to disappear. The man who thinks Joshua now beats Fury. Tony Bellew. Oh my God. I don't want to... The man gives me an ulcer. You know, both former world champions, Barker and Bellew, the biggest matchroom rumours in boxing. Company men, aren't they? 3 world title wins between them, Darren Barker and Tony Bellew. 3 world title wins between them, but yet these people are supposed to be the experts. These people are the experts. They've got wins over Makabu, Flores, and Barker's got one over Gill. That is it. That's it. But as it's Sky, we can pass them off as all-time greats, can't we? I mean, I heard somebody the other day going on about Darren Barker being put forward as a Hall of Famer because he's got this great story. I mean, what planet are these people on? The same Darren Barker that went out to Germany and jumped on floor, didn't he? Because he knew he couldn't get through fight. He came out swingers and then just quit. I mean, these people have got no shame. It's about money. Bellew didn't want to fight in WBSS, did he? Look, these people have got no shame. And that's just basically how it is. But it is what it is, isn't it? I mean, you've got Barker, Bellew, and then you've got other people queuing up to be like them, haven't you? Like Spencer Oliver. He's like, he were a Euro level fighter, wasn't he? And you've got, you know, Spencer Fearon, he were a journeyman, wasn't he? Dave Caldwell, another journeyman. These people are spreading the love all the time, the Matchroom love, all things Matchroom. I mean, these people have probably got Matchroom tattoos on their body somewhere. Do you know what I mean? And back up a little bit, you've got Johnny Nelson. He's nipping it all together with Mr. Bean. Runner bean, could have been, should have been, never been, baked bean, creepy bean, beanie. We're on to you, Bean. Where's them bodies? Tell us, Bean. Hand yourself in at the nearest cop shop, Bean. Look, we know how it's working, don't we? So he's got all bases covered. Mr Relentless, Daddy gives him the company, Sky gives him the platform, McCracken gives him the fighters, Coogan Cassius gives him the media platform, and the pundits are all in his pocket at Sky. It's like an old boys club, innit? Have you ever watched a Sky fight? Go and watch Zuga versus Paul Smith. Paul Smith were getting levered for the first 7 fights, and commentators said, yeah, Paul's saving himself for late on. Well, Paul Smith got dropped in 12th round. That's how much he was saving himself for late on. They have a narrative. I remember when Clinton Woods did some Sky pundit work and he said something they didn't like, and afterwards they said, you can't say that. Clinton said, I'm a world champion light heavyweight, I'm here to gain opinion. And he didn't want to go again, Clinton. So, and the same with Robin Reid. These people are world champions, they're there to give an opinion. If you don't read off the same hymn sheet, they don't have your back. These people read off the same hymn sheet all the time, don't you? Spencer Oliver, Spencer Fearon, Johnny Nelson, Tony Bellew, Darren Barker. They are reading off the same hymn sheet. At least Dave Allen and Carl Froch just say it as they see it, don't they? Do you know what I mean? Carl Froch is the Roy Keane, a boxing punditry, and Dave Allen's done a bit with Sky, and he just says it as he sees it. But the rest of them, they need that fix, don't they? They can't go against the grain. So basically, Mr Relentless has got it sewn up on it. So with everyone on board, he can push his own narrative. You know, that narrative that's in Hearn we trust. Do you know what I mean? That's basically it. But the reality is, he's got DAZN in America at his disposal. Right, DAZN are at his disposal, aren't they? We know that, don't we? They've gave Hearn a platform to put a dint in boxing, but all he's done is put a dint in their finances, hasn't he, really? That's technically what it is, basically. He's been overpaying everybody, but taking his cut as well. So if he overpays somebody like Mikey Garcia, who gets $1 million a fight, if he gives him 7 million, Eddie Hearn gets 1.4 million of that, doesn't he? Now Eddie Hearn's 1.4 million cut from Mikey Garcia is more than what Mikey Garcia got in his previous fight. Do we see a pattern here? Do we see a pattern? Eh? I think we do, don't we? We see a pattern, don't we? Let's use other people's money. Let's use Sky's money and let's use DAZN's money, and we'll play them all off each other. And let's fart in every arena wherever we go, and let's get these YouTubers, right, telling me how great my farts smell because I'm Eddie Hearn and I'm God. Hey, it is unbelievable what's going on, and nobody's making a stand, are they? This guy is ruining boxing single-handedly. He is single-handedly ruining the sport. People can't see it, can they? They just cannot see it. But as I've just said, I'm Eddie Hearn, I'm the king of Sting, and I've got 15 heavyweights. That's what I've got. 15 heavyweights that I can match up anytime I want. Joshua White, Chisora, Parker, Usyk, Hunter, Ergovic, Majidov, Bakole, Gassiev, Zhang, Dave Allen, Hughie Fury, David Price, Tom Little. There's 15 people there that Eddie's saying his words he can work with, but none of these 15, and none of them are fighting each other, are they? None of them. I mean, that's just how it is, isn't it? That's just how it is. Well, it's boxing, isn't it? It's boxing. I mean, Conor Benn, right, were WBA number 6 a few fights ago. Since then, he's been winning and winning and winning. But Eddie's pulled him out at rankings, and he's not even in top 15 now. Why is that? Why did Conor Benn get slipped into WBA number 6 ranking? Why? Why? If Eddie's Mr Relentless, why ain't he putting Conor Benn in with anybody above number 6? Hey, because everybody saw his little sneaky move, didn't they? This is why boxing's the wild, wild west. I mean, what is he doing for Conor Benn at the moment? I mean, we're talking about a kid here, last year they were world number 6. What is he doing for Billy Joe Saunders? Why don't Mr Relentless, Mr Weapon of the Week, why don't he make Billy Joe Saunders against Callum Smith? Why don't he put Callum Smith against John Ryder on? Mr I Run Boxing, why don't he do that? They're all 168 kids. Why don't you do that? Why don't you have them fight each other? Why ain't Mr Relentless sorting that? Why is Alexander Usyk fighting Chaz Witherspoon and who he's just fought? I mean, he's got 4 losses, Chaz Witherspoon. He's fighting Chisora next. He's got 9 losses. Why has he got Usyk on board? They've got him to park him up to do a Luis Ortiz, to keep him away from Joshua. It's a game of chess, isn't it? It's chess, not checkers. That's the bottom line. As for Dillian White, he's had his spare wheel, isn't he? But he's on his 5th pay-per-view next. He's not even fought for an EBU yet. Not even fought for an EBU. Not even fought for an EBU. Then we got Joshua Fury. Well, I bet he's sweating cobs about that fight. He needs that fight, doesn't he? He needs that fight more than ever now, doesn't he, Joshua Fury, Eddie? But does it happen? I don't know. We don't know. They're going to spin different stories every day. That's all they're going to do. That's all they're good for, spinning stories. There's talkers and there's smoky bacon walkers. Get some fights delivered. You've got 15 heavyweights there. None of them are fighting each other. Get some fights on them. I ain't talking nonsense on IFL. Get fights made. Get Saunders and Smith at it, or John Ryder and Chris Eubank. Get all them fighting each other. Get these heavyweights fighting. Get Conor Benn fighting somebody with an heartbeat. Get Dave Allen, Hughie Fury on. So hopefully Eddie can sell this fight soon, this Joshua Fury fight. But will it be sold with that race element? I said earlier, I think it will. I think it will. So Eddie's never had a blip in his life, has he? He's never had a blip in his life. He's had it all on a plate. He's never overcome adversity. I mean, we're talking about a kid here, 4-0 super heavyweight amateur star, right? If he's a 4-0 super heavyweight amateur star, right? Why isn't there any footage? Like I said earlier, why? Why isn't there? It never happened, did it? Didn't happen, wouldn't happen. It'd be 1,000,000,000 to 1 him being a 4-0 amateur star. It is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is. I mean, let's have it right though. He's kicked everybody's arse at promoting, hasn't he? But Mr Relentless has had it on a plate. None of these YouTubers like Coogan Cassius, Rob Tabbert, Michelle Joy Phelps, none of them want to ask him, say, Eddie, you've had it on a plate though, haven't you? You know, your old man gives you a company, Sky gives you an exclusive platform, you know, DAZN throwing money at you. You've had it on a plate. YouTubers hanging out of the back of you, rimming you. Rinse your mouth out, all you YouTubers who rim Eddie Hearn. McCracken's giving him the fighters up there. Rimmers, utter rimmers. Now, I don't call that 12 rounds to success. I call it being gifted success, and the rest is all in his little mind. But nobody is going to say a word. Is Steffi Bull going to say a word? No, is he? Heck? These people are not going to say a word. They will in private though, won't you, Steffi? But they're not going to say it to Eddie's face, are they? So I'll say it to you, Eddie, now. You're a shithouse, you've had it all on a plate. If you've got any balls, come on Porky's Corner. I've got some questions for you. I want to ask you about StubHub. Nobody asks you about StubHub, do they? You mind being Eddie Hills, the 4-0 amateur fighter, and free by way of KO, Eddie the Iceman Hills. Listen, nobody's going to ask you questions about StubHub, are they? Or all lies you keep telling, or this PR video you've just put out here with pictures of rioters pushing slavery statues. Look, Eddie uses everybody around him, doesn't he? Everybody around him. Like I said, Sky give him $3 million a year for 20 dates. DAZN have been giving him millions for 40 dates. That's 60 dates a year. 60 dates. The lottery funded GB setup. I keep making a point about this and none of you MPs are doing anything about it. That is a lottery funded GB setup up there. We've got Joshua there. He manages a Coley and Boazzi. They're from that lottery setup up there. Joshua trains up there. He's a professional. I'm Anthony Joshua, I'm a professional fighter and I train at the lottery funded place here where all Olympians for other sports are, but I earn money from boxing, so I'm going to pick a Coley and Boazzi. I'm going to manage them and Eddie's going to promote them and I'm going to take over, and nobody is doing a thing about this, and it's been going on for far too long. And like I said, I ain't got a problem with him inviting all them idiots from The Only Way Is Essex to his shows, because they'll go to the opening of an envelope, them people, won't they? They'll go to the opening of an envelope, and if it sells tickets for boxing, that's good, isn't it? So that's a good move, isn't it? But it's not relentless, is it? It's not Mr. Master Plan, is it? You see where I'm coming from? Do you know what I mean? What's going to happen is Eddie's going to ride off into the sunset. And he's going to leave boxing to suffer. That's what he's going to do. He's going to leave boxing to suffer, and he's going to have a go at something else, probably music promotion. That's what's going to happen. That is what's going to happen. He can't keep up all these lies all the time, but he'll come back to boxing, he'll refresh himself, go to something else, he'll come back and he'll say, I'm stronger, faster, quicker than a speeding bullet, and he'll have a better comb over when he comes back. Nobody will recognise him. He'll probably have his face stretched about all over the place. He'll come back and he'll say, the relentless one, Sir Edward John Hearn, is back. But this is how I look at it. I don't think he's that relentless, because if he were relentless, right, he'd have more world champions on debut, wouldn't he? For example, can I just point out that Eddie's been in boxing 10 years and he's not had one world champion that's not from Olympics and GB squad up there. He hasn't had a world champion from debut yet. Not one. The only one he's had who's a world champion from up there, who I rate, is, who can we say? Who can we say, really? Katie Taylor's had gifts, hasn't she? Edwards got found out, didn't he? Joshua got found out, didn't he? Callum Smith, but he's been protected. So who has he had that's been any good? He's not delivered for Luke Campbell, has he? Got him bashed up, didn't he? So I don't really know. His dad had Herbie Hyde, didn't he? From debut, and he was Nigerian, and he didn't. Herbie Hyde wasn't in Team GB, Team Olympics, was he? But he went on to win a WBO, but that weren't recognised at the time. So these people are fraud. They don't win purse bids, do they? They don't win purse bids. So how is Eddie Hearn Mr Relentless when he's losing against just a small outfit in Bulgaria on a purse bid for Dylan White against Pula? How's that relentless? Couldn't win a purse bid. They don't win purse bids. That is not relentless behaviour, is it? Is it? Eddie Hearn, in my opinion, is getting ready to bail out of boxing. I think he's going to bail out. He's had it off big time, made millions. He's found a way to use everybody around him without risking his own money, even to the extent of not taking kids to world titles from debut who were not from the EIS. For example, Mick Hennessy took Tyson Fury and Carl Froch. They never went to Olympics. Mick took them to world titles from debut. Dennis took Clinton Woods to a world title from debut. Barry Hearn took Herbie Hyde from debut. Frank Warren took Nathan Cleverly and Gavin Reese. They never went to Olympics, did they? Eddie Hearn took Katie Taylor, Joshua Yafai, Smith, Charlie Edwards. All Olympians, aren't they? Except Callum Smith, but he was Team GB and he should have got Olympics. He was ripped off in Olympic trials. Kell Brook thrown under a bus. That's relentless, that, innit? Weapon of the week. Usyk fight. He signs Usyk and promises him world. He fights Chaz Witherspoon and he's fighting Derek Chisora next. 13 losses between them both. Dillian White's gone 11-0 since Joshua iced him. He's been WBC #1 for over 1,000 days. That's Eddie Hearn's words. Eddie Hearn's words. Eddie hasn't delivered for him, has he? He couldn't even get him Wembley fight and put a proper contract in front of him. Mr Relentless. Now he ended up putting Joshua on a show in New York. So what has he done for them people? I don't know. But he's got Sam Eggington out yet again. He's had 6 losses. Dave Allen's out soon. He's had 5 losses. He keeps digging Dave Allen and Sam Eggington up, doesn't he? I mean, how many more good ideas can they take? They're already stumbling like Riddick Bowe with the speeches, aren't they? So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Is Cal Yafai had it the same way as Charlie Edwards? Weapon of the week, Eddie Hearn. I don't know. Charlie Edwards has gone, hasn't he? Is Cal Yafai going to go next? We're going to see, aren't we? Is Kell Brook going to go next? He's not delivered Kell Brook Amir Khan, has he? Hey, Mr Relentless, weapon of the week, bragging about Lee Purdy sat in a sauna with his old man Bazza on day of a fight to check weigh-in. Look, is this relentless behaviour? It's relentless, taking people's money off them and lying and twisting and stealing and promising and not delivering. Look, Eddie shouldn't be writing books until he's had to overcome some adversity in his life. That's why boxers don't respect him, that they're not going to tell him. I don't know one boxer who respects Eddie Hearn as a person, right? He's had it on a plate. Now, for however many drinks he buys people or one-liners he comes out with and pats on back, he knows when he lays on his bed at night and puts his head on that pillow that he is not welcome in the boxing community as like he would like to be accepted. Now, accepted, I should say, because he's not overcome adversity, has he? Has he overcome adversity like Peter Fury? Hey? Tyson Fury's overcome adversity, and he has fetched up. What about Carl Froch? Has he overcome adversity like Carl Froch? All these boxers have all got stories, haven't they? Right? Eddie's story's not like any of theirs, is it? He shouldn't be writing books until he's overcome adversity, is my opinion. Weapon of the week. We already know he hasn't yet overcome adversity. He didn't stick to boxing, did he? Even though he's telling us he was 4-0, free by way of. Now, that's a load of rubbish, isn't it? We all know that, don't we? Why give up a 4-0 career as an amateur to go and sell double glazing on a telephone? That don't work like that. You get sponsors banging your door down. If you're a 4-0 super heavyweight and you're Barry Hearn's son, you're going to be a boxer, aren't you? Do you think Barry Hearn's going to let a 4-0 kid who's knocked 3 people out go and sell double glazing? Are you having a laugh? Wake up and smell the roses and stop smelling Eddie Hearn's farts. You know all them people, like I've just said to you, hang around Eddie and laugh at his jokes? They're the same people that go, God, Eddie, have you just farted? And Eddie will go, yeah. And he'll start laughing and walk off because that's what he does, and they'll go, Eddie, that's a great smelling fart, that. You should sell your own fart air fresheners for cars. That's what he'd probably do, wouldn't he? He's laughing his head off. He's not only shitting on people in industry, he shits on people when he stands near them. You see, doesn't he? That's what happens, doesn't it? His old man had pimped him out like he did Eubank. If Eddie Hearn, let me tell you, was a 4-0 amateur. So Eddie, let's see the footage of this 4-0 super heavyweight Iceman, free by way of. So, a load of rubbish, but you're my weapon of the week, Eddie, for that book. I will read that book, Eddie, and I will tear it apart. And I will point out with an luminous pen every lie, because everybody tells me everything, alright? And that's just the way things go, isn't it? I mean, that's just the way things go. So I hope you enjoyed the video. It took me ages to do the script. And it took me ages to get it right. I'm behind lens today because I feel rough as a dog's arse. But I'm going to put some inserts in it, jazz it up, and it's going to be out this week. Weapon of the week. So big shout out to Lacoste and Watchfinder. So that's about it really. Shout out to all them people who've been giving me good advice over the last couple of weeks. Big shout out to South Yorkshire Packaging, Innovation Alloys, AJ Hobson. Hope you well, AJ. Thanks for backing channel. You're a godsend, mate, and a gentleman. And I want to thank everybody who follows my channel and likes and subscribes and leaves a comment, because we're on this journey together, aren't we? And we are fighting back against the establishment, alright? Peace out, keep on trucking, keep supporting boxing. Big shout out to Lou DeBella. Good luck with your baseball team, Lou. Alright? Peace out. Oh, and a big shout out UCTV Boxing and Ultratech Sports Boxing, Boxing Asylum, and that's about it. That's about all I listen to at the moment. So peace.
You like that one, didn't you? Right, first of all, I just want to say thank you very much for liking and subscribing. It means a lot to me, because we're on this journey together, aren't we? So anybody got any ideas for the channel, fire them over to me, porkycorner@mail.com. Alright, shout out to Innovation Alloys, and South Yorkshire Packaging. All right? Don't forget to subscribe, keep on trucking.